A Lincoln mother warns of the devastation caused by meningitis after Parliament rejects a petition to vaccinate under 11s.
Mark felt his heartbeat twice and then it stopped.
We hear about a primary school which was one of the worst in the country but is now the best in Lincolnshire. And we have an exclusive from Chris Moises, who is in contract talks with Lincoln City.
It's to keep the club moving forward, and obviously the ultimate is to get out of this division back in the Football League.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lsj Today, live from the University of Lincoln. I'm Owen Bellwood. We have all the news and sport from around the region, but first our top story. A Lincolnshire mother whose son lost his life to meningitis is warning others about the disease. This comes after Parliament rejected a petition to vaccinate all under 11s against meningitis B, despite it being the most signed parliamentary petition of all time. Eleanor Weaver's report contains images viewers may find distressing.
Sam Cook contracted meningitis when he was 10 months old. He died 4.5 hours after being diagnosed with the disease. He was a healthy and happy boy. Sam's mother, Karina, says no one should ever have to bury a child.
Yeah, he was 10 months when he died and these were about when he was 8 months old. Mark had felt Mark had felt his heartbeat twice and then it stopped. And he died in Mark's arms.
Over 3,000 people contract meningitis each year. Hundreds of people lose their lives to the disease and hundreds more are left severely disabled. Over 800,000 people signed a petition to vaccinate all children under 11 from meningitis B. The government released a statement yesterday rejecting this on the grounds that it was not cost effective.
Everything with vaccination policy does come down to the cost effectiveness of implementing the vaccine. Obviously, when the JCVI recommended that the vaccine be used, it was only to under ones and that it was only cost effective in that age group. I'm not sure whether the debate will change things. What we as an organisation will do is continue to campaign to try and get the under fives vaccinated.
The date for the parliamentary debate is still yet to be confirmed but should go ahead soon. Eleanor Weaver, Lsj Today.
7 years ago, Hearts Home Academy was one of the worst schools in the country and the pupils were described as feral. But today it's the best primary school in Lincolnshire. Angeline McCall reports on a remarkable turnaround.
Good morning, Hayden. Good morning.
A new school day is starting at Hearts Home Academy. And today, the kids in Class 3 are walking into a classroom. But it's designed like a farm. Immersion learning means classrooms are transformed into what the children are being taught.
So mine's a farm and then we've got a market street with like a fishmonger's and a baker's and things.
Each term, the curriculum is designed around one question. Key Stage 1 pupils are trying to find the answer to, can food revolutionize people's lives? The answer lies in every lesson from maths to science to literacy.
1, 2, 3 quarters.
So maths means learning fractions by topping pizzas.
I am learning to use fractions of shapes. The cheese has to go on half of it, then the pepper goes also half.
There's not many standalone skills lesson. We do try and intertwine it all.
But the school didn't always follow this format. 7 years ago, Hearts Home was in special measures. Twice.
So when we were back in special measures, it was a horrible place to be. Staff were overworked. Children were running riots.
And then Carl Jarvis came along.
Education is plagued by one phrase, and that phrase is, "We've always done it this way."
Carl's changes and its results received an outstanding mark from Ofsted in 2011. So now other schools are catching on.
Let's do something for the next generation, and let's be able to prepare a legacy for the next generations.
Now, with only 3 months to go until the polls open for the EU referendum, campaigning in Lincoln is well underway. Lincolnshire County Council has made its position clear to support Brexit. But what is the outlook for the rest of the city? Our reporter, Calvin Robinson, went to find out.
For the next 4 months, it will be a question that will be asked again and again. Should the United Kingdom remain a member of the European Union? For some voters in Lincoln, 23rd of June will be the first time that they will have a say on Britain's membership with the European Union. But Lincolnshire County Council has already begun its local campaign.
I laid down a motion on coming out of Europe, so-called Brexit, for the simple reason that although I'm a great believer in David Cameron and he fought hard, I think we are tinkering at the edges as regards to staying in Europe.
For Lincoln MP Carl McCartney, the EU has all but run its course.
I've got to say that at this point in time, I think that the EU has run its course, and I think that the United Kingdom can do an awful lot better as a country outside of the EU.
In 4 months' time, after the votes have been cast and after the campaigns have ended, will the United Kingdom still be at the centre of European politics, or will it disappear? Calvin Robinson, Lsj Today.
We can go live now to our reporter, Calvin Robinson. Calvin, what's the City Council's position on this?
Well, with the City Council being a Labour-led council, you'd be forgiven for thinking that there's a possibility that the council will be in touch with Labour In, which is a pro-EU campaign led by Hull West MP Alan Johnson. However, after making contact with the City Council this week, I can confirm that Rick Metcalfe, the leader of the City Council, has said that the council is neutral on the subject.
Our attention at the moment is very much focused on our May all-up local election. We'll turn our minds then, I think, to the EU after that. And the council doesn't have a view on it, so it's best for us not to present the picture that it's somehow or other the council taking a view. The council hasn't got a view about this as it happens.
Though the referendum's set for the 23rd of June, it seems a long way away and there's still a lot of party politics going on. However, what I can say is this, is that the Electoral Commission has said that the official campaign date is the 15th until the 23rd of June, so there's still more campaign to come, Owen. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Calvin. We'll have an update on that story in our 4 o'clock bulletin. But still to come in our lunchtime programme. A dog charity in Lincolnshire is struggling to cope with rehousing a number of greyhounds, and Lincoln City manager Chris Moises is in talks over a new deal with the club. An unassuming field in Lincolnshire has revealed its secret Anglo-Saxon past. The field near Louth has been identified as an ancient settlement which once had strong trading links with the rest of Europe. The discovery was made by Graham Vickers, a metal detecting enthusiast, who found an 8th century writing stylus in a field near Little Carton in Louth. Archaeologists at the University of Sheffield believe this to be the former Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Lindsey. The Director of Public Health in Lincolnshire has warned of the increase in the number of people suffering from liver disease in the county. A report published this week found that between 2011 and 2014 there were more than 1,000 hospital admissions for liver disease in Lincolnshire. It also found that the rate of mortality in under 75-year-olds from all forms of liver disease has increased by around 35%. In the report, Dr. Tony Hill emphasised the work of the Lincolnshire Alcohol and Drug Strategy in preventing, enforcing and treating liver disease in the county. People across the country are today celebrating World Book Day. The day brings children of all ages together to appreciate reading with the aim to encourage children to explore the pleasures of books and reading. Now in its 19th year, World Book Day distributes more than 4 million book tokens to school children, which can be used to pick up one of 10 special edition books. This year's titles include Roald Dahl's The Great Mouse Plot and Star Wars Adventures in Wild Space. A Lincolnshire dog charity says it is struggling to cope with the numbers of greyhounds that need rehoming. This comes a week after a Commons report called for improvements to the welfare of racing greyhounds. Kevin Stowe from the Lincolnshire Greyhound Trust says people returning their dogs is a huge issue for them.
We have more than we actually really have got space for because we've had a bad time with people returning dogs, pet owners returning their greyhounds for reasons, as I say, that they feel are justified, and that creates a problem because they usually expect us to take them straight away, even though we're operating on a full-up basis.
And now it's time for your sport with Liam Ray, who's got an exclusive piece of news regarding Lincoln City manager Chris Moyses.
Thanks, Owen. Now, LSJ Sport has learnt that Lincoln City manager Chris Moyses is in talks over a new contract at Sinsel Bank. The Imps boss has been in charge for over a year now, but has not been paid because he's already a club director. His managerial position was reported to be under threat over the new year after an 11-game winless run, but City have recently gone 4 games unbeaten in the National League. In an exclusive interview, Moyses also revealed what he would like from his potential new deal.
To get paid. No, hopefully that will come. I've been speaking with the chairman on that there might be some financial reward for me for next season, which will be good. It's to keep the club moving forward, and obviously the ultimate is to get out of this division back in the Football League.
So there are kind of contract talks going on there?
Yeah.
City will look to maintain their strong recent form at home to Aldershot Town on Saturday. Moyes' side had a rare day off last weekend due to their opponent's Dover Athletics Cup exploits, but will be looking to make it 5 unbeaten in the National League this weekend. And striker Jack Muldoon is fully focused ahead of the match.
Exactly the same sort of games that we've been playing recently. It'll be very direct, I imagine, what we're going to be. And I'm not really bothered about Aldershot. I just know that we're going to perform on the day like that.
Now moving away from football, and over 70 doctors and academics have called for a ban on tackling in school-age rugby. The group sent an open letter to ministers stating that tackling in the sport can leave children with injuries for the rest of their lives. They argue that 2/3 of youth injuries are related to rugby, with the vast majority of concussions from rugby tackles. However, rugby supporters argue that other forms are less challenging and that rugby builds character.
I think there's always a chance to always consider how you do it. I mean, I think it's important that there is contact at an early stage, but that it's also properly taught. The importance of the technique for me is the biggest thing. One of my frustrations sometimes is that just because you wear a scrum cap, it doesn't mean you're going to be protected.
So that's all your sport for now. We'll be back later. Back to you, Owen.
Thanks for that, Liam. Now it's time to take a quick look at the weather. We've had a chilly start this morning with some frost and icy patches, but the rest of the day is expected to be mostly dry and bright. Today's maximum temperature is expected to be 8 degrees. Tonight will be a cold one with rain after midnight and a possibility of sleet and snow later in the night with a minimum temperature of 0 degrees. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it will be mostly cloudy with occasional wintry showers, and Friday's maximum temperatures will be 5 degrees. Remember train spotter Ryan Allen? He spent hours waiting to catch a glimpse of the Flying Scotsman as it thundered through Lincolnshire following a £4 million refit. Let's have a look at how his big day ended. But his disappointment didn't last long. Ryan is now on his way to America after his railway tweet went viral. Virgin Trains apologised to Ryan on Twitter and have offered to make him the Flying Yorkshireman, taking him to Atlanta to see the city's busy rail networks for himself. And now here's a reminder of our top stories for today. A Lincolnshire mother warned of the devastation caused by meningitis after Parliament rejected a vaccination petition. And that's all for today. You can join us back at 4 o'clock with Emma Tinson, and in the meantime you can keep up with all the latest news on LSJ Tweets or log on to lsjnews.co.uk. Thank you and goodbye.